My name is Guy Tan. Today we're going to talk about breath, particularly breath in singing. There's a quote I like a lot of, which says, "The one who knows how to breathe already knows how to sing." If you're a little bit into singing, you must have heard the term diaphragm, or the diaphragm breath. Now that is a subject that is easier said than done. Let's have a closer look at what this diaphragm looks like in details. Unless you're a natural diaphragm breather, when you inhale to the upper part of your chest. Your lungs fill up using the space available in your chest cavity and in your rib cage. So there's a tissue that lays right under your lungs here, right inside your rib cage, and it lies horizontally all across your body. That is your diaphragm. When you inhale to the bottom part of your lungs, this diaphragm stretches down and you get to use this cavity in your abdominal space for your breath. Now that is very essential for singing. There are two main reasons why you cannot use this air, the air you take here, to sing. One of the main reasons is that the air here is uncontrollable and it will want to go out really fast. So when you inhale down here, you're inhaling into your abdominal space, stretching these abdominal muscles around here, and these muscles are flexible and they want to contract back. And now this natural squeezing effect, the bagpipe effect, it gives you pressured breath that you need to sing. And the other thing is, if you inhale up here, you cannot hold this breath. You're gonna hold this breath with your throat, and it's gonna feel like this. I'm holding my breath right now, so I can't sing. If I open my throat, I have to puff out a lot of air, and this is very inconvenient for singing. You would see singers turning purple, turning red, and like having really hard time singing. That's mostly because they have a high breath in here. In fact, if you can have a really low breath, that breath, you're gonna feel that you're completely empty here. I have a full breath reserve. I'm full everywhere in my belly here, in my back, and I feel that this air is naturally trapped under my ribs, and as I speak, my body releases the air as much as I need it. So I have full reserve and I can talk over it comfortably. Now, diaphragm is a muscle that it takes a long time to train. And even if you already know how to use your diaphragm, even if you have a lot of activity inhaling in here, it doesn't mean that you're not inhaling to your chest. Now, the idea is not only inhaling into your diaphragm, not engaging your diaphragm when you're singing, but is maintaining this empty feeling in here, that freedom in your throat when you sing. So if you even inhale down there, if you inhale up in your chest, that is not going to work. You really have to learn how to bypass this line, the upper part, and inhale down in here and trap the air down in your diaphragm and sing like that. Now we have a couple of exercises for these. I'll show you like 3 sets of exercises, and the first sets are mostly for beginners, but from time to time in my career I'd like to go back to these and just do them. Now we're gonna lay down for our first exercise, and we have a thick book here, and we're gonna use this. So what I need you to do with this exercise is put the book right on your belly, and when you inhale, you're going to lift the book up. Now there are 2 important things that you need to think about. You have to be conscious of the activity on your upper chest, and you have to be conscious of what's going on with the book. When I'm inhaling, I eventually don't want to engage my upper chest at all. So it's going to look like this. And now, you might see that when you do it yourself, you might see that you have a lot of chest movement. Or only chest movement. Let's see if I can do that. I've been practicing this for so long that it's difficult for me to inhale up in here. But when you try this for the first time, if you have no diaphragm movement at all, don't be discouraged. That's very normal. It's a muscle that you have never used. But if you be patient with it, and if you do what you need to do, it'll definitely going to work. Now, ideally, I want to lift this book up without helping with any kinds of muscle. So I just relax my muscles. I don't engage them, and just take a breath. And because the air is going down, my belly is rising and the book is going up. Now, if you can't achieve that, for a little bit, help with your belly muscles. That is to have a taste of what it feels like inhaling with some movement in here. Don't hang on to those habits, because eventually you will not use your muscles to lift the book up. Now I'm helping with my muscles as well. So, once you get a little bit movement here, what you want to do is that you will try to make this part very responsive, as in the first bit of breath you inhale is directly going to go down in here. A wrong example to that, the opposite, would be this. You would inhale, and a second or two later you would see the movement in here. It should feel something like this. Now, if you do it correctly, you'll see that this is going to come up as soon as you start inhaling. Now that means the first bit of breath is going to your diaphragm. Now that's a good path. If you achieve this, then it means that you created a pretty good path between your inhaling and your diaphragm, and you're most likely bypassing your upper lungs up to a point. If this doesn't work for you easily, there are a couple of other ways of thinking around this, and you just have to find which way helps you most, and you should keep exploring it. Now, one of the ways is be conscious of your upper chest and see how much it's raising, how it feels when it's raising, and if you can avoid that at all. Eventually, your upper chest is going to be collapsing when you inhale. So, try to collapse this. Don't let it grow. Don't apply pressure on it. I'm just putting my hands to see if there's any growth in here, and see if you can inhale with minimal chest growth. Now, the other thing you can think about this is that you can imagine your air tube as an external component that connects directly to your back here. It comes all the way from the back, goes down outside your body, and connects to your diaphragm from here. Now, when you think of something external like that, it is pretty much helping you to bypass the upper lungs. And you really have to work this image to help your breath. It feels like this. Now there's something similar to this example. Sometimes students understand it much better if they just put their hands here, right under their lung handles. And when they inhale, they feel that their back is pressing against their hands, because while your belly is going up, your back is feeling as well. Now see, these are all ways of concentrating your attention on this area and unconsciously taking the breath out of here and getting around your diaphragm. This is going to take practice. Now, don't be discouraged if it doesn't work right away. You definitely need to work on this. Now, I have a couple of tips with these first set of diaphragm exercises. First, if you can, please work with a classically trained teacher that is going to diagnose your mishabits right from the beginning, and it's going to be very easy for you to solve them. In fact, if you develop bad habits, and if these habits settle down, then in the long run it's going to be difficult to solve these problems. Another tip is that you should be really relaxed doing these things. You should not feel any tension in your throat or make any sounds. We don't want anything extra to engage. You have to be dormant. You do this when you're sleeping, especially talking about the laying down exercise. You do it when you sleep, so it's going to be very relaxed. You can never injure your diaphragm, so you can't do these diaphragm exercises enough, but I wouldn't want you to overdo it, because if you're tired and if you're not in control of your body, then you're going to start to do wrong things. In other words, your muscles are going to misbehave. So you should always work with a clean mind and remember to have fun, because if you're not having fun singing or trying to learn to sing, then you're missing the point of it. Now here's a little bonus exercise for you. If you're really having difficulty feeling anything in here, you can additionally work on this little exercise. Now for this one, we're going to pant like a dog. Now the trick to this is you should really think like a dog. Now if you think about your belly going in and out, and if you try to coordinate it with your breath, it's going to be so much task that you won't be able to achieve the core of this exercise. But if you just be a dog for a minute and have fun with it, you'll actually see that your diaphragm will move really fast. Another thing you can do is you can copycat the moment you're scared. You engage your diaphragm with that natural reflex, and if you can actually just stop about how it works and think about that moment you're scared, you will probably get this feeling. When you're working our first set of diaphragm exercises, make sure that you inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And also please don't chain the exercises. You want to give yourself a couple of seconds between every try. So this would be a bad example. Now this is a good pace for me. Between the exercises, while you let your muscles to recover, you're also giving yourself time to think how it's going to feel next time you do it. If you can feel how it's going to feel, then you will do it correctly. So don't just do it. Think before you do it.